Hi friends, welcome to Linux Essence. In this lecture, we are going to talk about basic commands, managing files and directories, removing files and directories, copying files and directories, and moving files and directories, meta characters, and archiving files, which means how to compress and how to uncompress the files. Now we will explain first basic commands. So this is my Red Hat 8 operating system. So first pwd, it will check present working directory. So pwd is the command, it verifying your current working location. So my current working location is /root. Date is the command to display the current running system date and time. So now it is Monday, March 1st, 3:40 Indian Standard Time. You want to display current month calendar, cal is the command. So now it is Monday 1st. And log name is the command to check your current login username. My current login username is root. Otherwise, who am I is the command to check your current working, to check your current login user. So my current user is root. Then who is the command, how many users connected to the server. So in the environment, the very important command, the administrator how to find who are connected to the server, who are connected to the server. Just run the command who, it lists out who are connected to the server. Or the W also is the command to check your current login username, like who are connected to the user and how many users are connected, what is the load average, and everything, the complete details of login users information. And then one more command, uptime. So this is also very important command, how long server is up and running. So how long server is up and running, how many users are connected, and load average of the server. Then uname, it displays your current operating system name. My operating system name is Linux. And uname space -r, it displays the current kernel version. So you want to check the what kernel version, you want to get the kernel version. So now here uname space -r, that is my current kernel version is 4.18.0-240 EL8, means what, Enterprise Linux 8 x86-64 architecture. So this is my current kernel version. And uname space -i, you want to display the what, architecture of the OS. So now either 32-bit or 64-bit, then uname space -i. Otherwise one more command, arc also is there to find your current architecture. So now my current operating system architecture is 64-bit architecture. And you want to get the complete details, uname space -a, it displays the complete details of your OS. That is called what, your kernel version, your computer name, and your operating system name, architecture of the OS, and everything is the what, uname space -a only. And you want to get the what, complete details of your server, that is hostname ctl also is the command to find your server details. So now my computer hostname is server, it is running on VM, that machine ID and boot ID, the virtualization backend is VMware, and operating system type is Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8.3, and kernel version, architecture of the OS. So these commands are very important. And then how to find command location. For example, date command is there, user add command is there, and like different commands in the environment, date, user add, or different commands in the environment. Then how to find the given command location? Basically I told you, user directory, bin directory, sbin directory, opt directory, home directory, or different directories in the location. But how to find the location of the command? Which. So which is the command to find location of the command. So which is also command to find command location. So for example, which space, my date command. Where is the date command? The date command is under usr bin date. So finally date command is under usr. So which space, my command name is user add. So then where is the user add command? The user add command is under usr as bin location, but date command is under usr bin location. So what I told you, the user commands are under bin location, the system commands are under as bin location. Please remember these two locations. So mostly all commands are these two locations only, bin and sbin. And next, so you want to clear the screen, then here is the word clear is the screen. And one more important thing, df space -h, it displays disk free size of your operating system, disk free size. So generally you want to find free space like used space in the Windows, right click on the drive, properties options are there. But in the Linux, how can you find your each drive properties? So now for example, the slash directory size is totally 15 GB, then used size is 4.2 GB, then remaining available space is 11 GB, and where directory size is 10 GB total, and 280 MB is only used, remaining 9.8 GB is the what? Free space. And boot directory, it is approximately 1 GB, but 236 MB only used, and 779 MB is the what? Available. So like you want to find your disk free space and what is used space, what is available space, then we can use df space -h command. Here h is human readable format, right? So actually if you write df command, so the sizes are here 887368, it is called what? Blocks. By default sizes are blocks. The slash size is 15718400, then 15718400 means what, right? So now if you use df -h, the sizes converts to human readable format, the sizes converts to human readable format. Then yes, 15718400 means that is approximately 15 GB. So that is the what? df and df -h. And the next important command, du space -h, it displays disk usage, it displays disk usage. So now each file occupied how much size, then we can use du space -h. Like see, the videos directory occupied 0 bytes, the local directory occupied 328 KB. So for example, flatpak file occupied 4K, then metadata file occupied 72K. So like each file size how much, how do you know that? Then we can run the what? du space -h. Du is the what? Disk usage, df is the what? Disk free size, right? So these are the what? Basic, minimum basic commands. And the next important thing, everyone must understand in Linux some help options, help options. So what are the help options in the Linux? Like for example, sir, pwd is the command. So I am confused completely. So literally pwd is a present working directory or it is your password. How do you know? How do I know? So now if you run man command, so man means it displays manual pages. So man space command name, it displays the what? The complete given command information. So now pwd, it means print name of current working directory. Print name of current working directory. It is not password. So print name of current working directory. You want to close the manual pages, then Q is the option. Okay, for example, I want to know that date command information, then man space date. What is the date? Print or set the system date and time. Print or set the system date and time. So you want to set up the what? Date and time, then we can use the what? Date command. So okay, man space, I want to know that user add command. So what is the user add command? It create a new user or update default new user information. Like you want to create any new user or update default new user information, then we can use the what? User add command. So like what I am saying here, you don't know any command information, just go through the helpline and don't ask your sirs, and no need to ask your friends, and no need to sitting on the internet and type what is the user add command, what is date command, what is pwd command. Just log it your Linux machine, man space command name only, it displays given command information. And one more important thing, info also is the command, it gives information about given command. So the info also help command, it gives information about your given command. For example, info space, my command name is pwd, right? What is pwd? Print working directory. The content is a little bit different, but agenda is the what? Same. So what is pwd? Prints the name of the current working directory. So that is the meaning of pwd. Again you want to close, Q is the option. And one more command is there, just pwd is the first, means command name first, space hyphen hyphen help. So it is a help of the given command, it is help of the given command, then enter. So now see that print name of the current working directory. So overall how many commands, like what are the help options? Man command, info command, and hyphen hyphen help option, hyphen hyphen help option. Okay, so these are the what? Help options in Linux environment. So any command information you want, just follow these help options. So now I will tell you how to managing files and directories in the environment. Sir, I want to create a text file, I want to make a new folder, I want to copying the files, I want to removing the files, then how to manage the files? So now I will tell you one by one. The first important command is cat. So what is cat command? The help man pages what says? So cat means concatenate files and print on the standard output, and print on the standard output. Concatenate files and print on the standard output, right? So generally the command of cat command, what it is used to create new text files and also print standard output on the screen, right? So now how to create a file, I will show you here. First, cat is the command, greater than, for creating new file, greater than is the option. Okay, what is my file name? For example, my file name is my file, the file name is my file. If I enter, yes, first I want to write some content hi and write the content hello, then I want to save the file, Control D. So you want to save the file, Control D. So now file successfully created. Then this file is created on which location? How do you know? So what is your location? How to find the location? So now that is pwd, it will check your current working location. My location is what? /root. So the my file is created under root location. And what files are created under root? So what files are existing under root? How do you know that? Simply listing files and directories with help of ls. ls is the command to list files and directories, right? So in that case, the blue colors are directories, black colors are files. Remember everyone, blue colors are files, black colors are directories. But here, what created file here? My file is there. What is the my file? Just now we created one text file with help of the cat command. So this is my file is the what? Text file. And then how to open a content of a file? Okay, my file is successfully created, but I want to see the content under my file. Cat less than file name. So cat is used to create new files and also print standard output on the screen. So cat less than file name, then enter. Yes, what contains this my file? Hi and hello. Otherwise, cat space file name is there. Also it print the word content on the screen. Yes, the same output. Either we can use cat less than file name or cat space file name. Then the next important thing, how to appending the content, cat double greater than my file, cat double greater than my file. So if you use again cat single greater than, then existing file is override. If you use double greater than, then it will add the word content to a file, appending to a file. So appending means what? Adding data last line of the file. Then enter. I want to add like good evening. Then enter. How to save a file? Control D is the option. Yes, Control D is the option. So now content successfully saved. How do you know that? Cat space again my file. So how many lines are there? Hi, hello, good evening. So 3 lines are successful. But you want to arrange the line numbers, cat space -n, the file name is my file. Then enter. So how many lines are there? Hi, hello, good evening. So this is overall cat command. But with help of cat command, we cannot modify the word content. Means we cannot edit the word content with help of cat command. But how to edit the content, later I will tell you. But cat is responsibility goes to creating new files and printing standard output on the screen, appending content to the word file. So this is cat command. Then next command is touch, and one more important command, touch. So what is the touch command? So generally people are saying touch is used to create new empty files. So that is called what? 0-byte files. Of course, touch space, I want to create file 1, I want to create file 2. So then enter. So 2 files are successfully created. The file names are file 1 and file 2. 2 files are successfully created. But how to find the file sizes? ls space -s. S is the what? Size. See that the file 1 size is 0 and file 2 size is 0. But you created my file with help of cat command. But initially cat command creates with what? 4 blocks. But cat doesn't create empty files. Touch only making empty files. But what is the responsibility of touch command actually in the real environment? Touch command changes file timestamps. File timestamp. Are you got it? So touch command is used to change file timestamp. Okay. For example, my file is already created, the file name is my file. How do you know the file properties? What time is created, what time is modified, what is the size, and what are the file permissions? And just we can use ls space -l, the file name is my file. Now if I enter, see, observe. So the my file properties are read write read read. So later I will tell you what is read write write. So now my file is read writable file, the created user is root, and file size is 28 blocks, and March month is created. It is a first date, and 3:55 is the what creation time. Okay, right now what is the time? If I write that, so time is 3:59, but that time is modified time is what 3:55. But I want to change the what timestamp. So 3:55 to 3:59. Then we can use again touch space my file. So now what about my file stamp of my file? So then ls space -l, the file name is my file. So now the modification time is 3:59. So in case if you create any new file with wrong time, like maybe timestamp is wrong, my system setting time is wrong, then how can you resync that file timestamp? Then we can use the what? Touch command. So touch is used to change file timestamps only, but it is not affected to content. It is affected only timestamp. So now if I open the content of my file, then my file content is same, but it was changed only timestamp. Okay, that is the use of touch command. And the originally real environment responsibility of touch command is changing file timestamp. Okay, and next, see this. And one more important thing, how to listing files and directories. Generally ls is the command to list files and directories. So by default it is a ascending order, but how to check the what ls space -r? It is a reverse order. So A to Z and Z to A. So now see that initially ls only, it is alphabetic order, first A to ending Z like that. So reverse order, descending order is the what? First Z to, then it is called A. Reverse order means ls space -r. And if you check ls space -s, it is a size. If you run ls space -l, it is a long list format, right? But in that case, observe, but when the file starts with hyphen in the first field, observe, when the file starts with hyphen, it is a regular file. It is a regular file. But when the field starts with D, it is a directory. When the field starts with D, it is a directory. And sometimes the field starts with L, it is a link file. Okay, so now different characters in the first field of each file attribute. But what type of files in the Linux? How do you know? So now I have a one screenshot. So what are the files available in the Linux? I will show you here. Observe. Now see. So how to identify Linux file types? When the field starts with hyphen, it is a regular file. When the field starts with D, it is a directory. The field starts with C, it is a character device file. The field starts with B, it is a block device file. The field starts with L, it is a symbolic link file. And a field starts with S, local socket file. And starts with P, it is a named pipe. So overall 2, 4, 6, 7. So in the Linux offers 7 different file types. Okay, so these are important for freshers, right? So now here only two fields right now. Hyphen means what? Regular file. D means what? Directory. So now in the real environment, for example, observe in the ls space hyphen l, how to troubleshoot the files in the environment. For example, in the ls hyphen l means it listing files and directories. But sir, I want to know that what files are recently changed, what file is recently modified. Then ls space hyphen lt. So here L means long list format, T is the what? It's sorting the order with what? Time based. So what file is recently modified? Like my file is modified. See, it is called what? Recent file time is what? 359, 357. It is arranging the what? Time based. So that is ls space hyphen lt. Okay. Generally people what to do? ls lt r. So R is the what? Okay, no need to from beginning to ending. I want to see the what? My modified file and recent modification files in the last line. Then it is called what? See that? My file. Okay, is it correct or not? I will check it. And again touch space, my file name is file2. I changed the what? File timestamp again. Then if I run again lsltr, so what is my recent modification file? That is recent updated file, file2 only. So now what files are recently updated? So then how do you know that? That is LTR, or even in the important thing is here T is main thing, L is long list, R is the what? Reverse order. Okay, some people is adding H also. H means what? The sizes with what? Human readable format. Without H means observe. So now 1496. 1496 is what? How much? So now if you add the H option, 1496 means 1.5 KB, 1.8 KB of 1818. So that's why the peoples are doing in the environment LTR, LTR, LTR like that. So what are the files recently updated? So then we can use the what? LTR. Combinations options are important. Troubleshooting purpose, these things are very important. Then in the ls space hyphen a option, the ls hyphen a is hidden files and hidden directories. Okay, if you run ls only, it listing files and directories. If you run ls space hyphen a, it will check hidden files and hidden directories. Remember one point everyone, every hidden file and hidden directory starts with dot only, starts with dot. So when the file starts with data, when the directory starts with data, yes, it is a hidden file and a hidden directory. But sir, how to make hidden files and hidden directories? Again same concept, cat greater than, sir, I want to make a what? Java file. But when the file starts with data, yes, Java is a what? Hidden file. To save the file, Control D. If you type ls, no Java file here. But if you type ls space a, then Java is the what? Hidden file. Same thing. What are the commands you applied for creating files and directories and like it touch files? Then same thing, when the file starts with data, it is a hidden file. Right. And the next important thing, in the ls space hyphen p option. So generally what is the p option? For example guys, if I run ls command, yes, in Linux a very beautiful options, easily to identifying files and directories with help of colors. Black colors are files, blue colors are directories. But in case some distributions of Unix operating systems, no colors like blue, black, red, sky blue like that. But then that time how can I identify files and directories? So some operating system doesn't maintain colors. Here what I am saying, some distributions of Unix or Linux operating system doesn't maintain colors. Then how can you identify files and directories? Everything is black color only. Then which are files, which are directories? How do you know that? Then ls space hyphen p is the option. Yes, when the file ending with slash, it is a directory. So not tailing slash, it is a file. So files are not ending with tailing slash, but when the file or when the directory ending with slash, when the resource ending with slash, it is a directory. So this is the way to identifying files and directories. So a very easy simple way to listing files and directories. But now I will tell you how to creating directories. So now actually mkdir is the command to creating new directories. Mkdir, my directory name is, okay, for example, cloud is the directory name, then enter. So now cloud directory successfully created. Then check it, where is the cloud directory? Under root location, type ls, yes, cloud is successfully created with the directory name cloud. Then how to navigate the directory? cd space directory name. So you want to navigate the directory, cd is the command, that is change directory. So which directory you want to change? Cloud directory, cd space cloud. Then what is your current working location? Now my current working location is /root/cloud. But is there any files under cloud location? No. Now if I make it any new file, cat greater than my file name is abc, then it's some content. To save the file, Ctrl D. Then verify that ls. Now abc file is created successfully in the location of /root/cloud. In the location of /root/cloud. But how to go your previous working directory? Then cd space dot dot. So now I want to back cloud to again root location. So cd space dot dot. Then enter. Again back to your location /root. So overall cd is the command to change the location, to change the directory. Then how to create multiple directories? mkdir is the command. Okay, I want to make it cloud 1, I want to make it cloud 2, I want to make it cloud 3, like this. You can create multiple directories. Yes, cloud 1, cloud 2, cloud 3. And another way to create multiple directories, mkdir, okay, with same name you want to make it with cloud 1 to cloud 3, then this is also correct. So now we are making cloud 1, cloud 2, cloud 3. So you want to at a time cloud 10 directories, then cloud 1, cloud 2, cloud 3 up to cloud 10. So now I want to make it cloud 3, but already cloud 1, cloud 2, 3 are exist. So then in case the files or directories existing, the files or directories are existing, then the message is cannot create directory because cloud 1 file exists, cloud 2 exists, cloud 3 exists. So means commands are perfect. So this is the way to making the what? New directories. So don't confuse, a directory is a folder in the Linux. So Windows people calling folders and the Linux Unix people calling directories. Then how to create nested directories? So what is that? Nested directories. So what is the nested directory? Directory within the directory, directory within the directory. Okay, I want to make mkdir is the command, space -p, p for parent directory. Okay, I want to make world directory, I want to make underworld Asia directory, under Asia I want to make it India directory, under India I want to create Telangana directory, then under Telangana I want to create simple name. So here it is called what? TS. Under TS I want to verify the what? Hyderabad, like this. So now if I then under Hyderabad, like we can enter. So under Hyderabad nothing. So then here what is the your parent directory? World. Under world my directory name is Asia. Under Asia my directory name is India. Under India my directory name is TS. Under TS my directory name is Hyderabad. But if you write ls only, then what is the directory here highlighted? Then world directory only. Actually world contains lot of subdirectories. But how to check the what subdirectories? Then a beautiful command in the Linux tree space your directory name is world. So what is my parent directory? World. Then see that yes, world directory contains Asia, Asia makes India, under India TS under Hyderabad. Overall world directory contains 4 directories but 0 files. And even one more command, ls capital R option, your parent directory is world. So then here also one more way to verifying the what file, subfiles and subdirectories. Yes, here capital R for recursive, capital R for recursive. In the small r is the reverse order. Here capital R means what? Recursive. So world, the world contains Asia, and world Asia it contains India. In the world Asia India it contains TS. Under TS it is Hyderabad, but under Hyderabad nothing. Right? So this is the way to creating nested directories. But you want to move that directories, okay sir, I want to move world Asia India directory, then this is the way to writing the word directory. Now my current working location is /root/world/Asia/India, but I want to go India to Asia directory. How do you know that? How to do that? cd space dot dot. So to go one level back, sir I want to go at a time India to world, then you can give // dot. Sir I want to go India to root directly, then you can give one more / and one more / like this. So you want to give multiple dots, then it is called what? Number of steps to go back. So first step is what? India to Asia. I specified one more step, that's why India to world directly. See that I switch it to India to world directly. But when will you type cd only, the user goes to user working home directory. So that is called what? Users home directory location. Either type cd or cd space tilde to go users home directory. So now what is the home directory of user? /root. Either type cd or cd space tilde to go users home directory location. This is called what? Navigation commands, making directories and navigate some directories like this. Now removing files and directories. So now I will tell you how to removing files and directories. So generally if you type ls, so here file 1, file 2, my file or different files are there. Okay, I want to remove file 1, then it is removing the what? File 1 only. If I enter yes, it is asking the what? Y option. Now file 1 successfully deleted, even with I option also. So now I want to delete file 2, then enter. So now yes. So what is the I means? It is interactive method. Interactive method means before removing it is asking confirmation. Before removing just confirm that yes, do you want to delete the file, means yes or no. That is called what? I interactive method. But here I am not specified any I option, because by default act as a what? -I option. By default act as a -I option. In case you want to delete my file with -f, so the f means forcefully to delete, means without taking any confirmation. So now file 1, file 2 and my file also deleted. Is there any file now? No. So two options are important, -I interactive method, -f is forcefully method. But which is the best one? -I. So you want to delete any file, must be write -I. Okay, just before removing just confirm the what? Either delete or not. Do you want to delete the file or not? Just use it to I option. Then how to delete directories? So generally rm is the command again. but you want to delete any directory, R is mandatory. So that is called what here, R means recursive option. R means recursive option to delete directories. So now I is the what, optional. So that is interactive method. So removing directory with an interactive method. Which directory you want to delete? Okay, I want to delete cloud1. Then enter. Now see that remove directory cloud1. Yes, I want to delete the cloud1. But don't use the option that is called what, F in case. So now I am trying to delete the what, world directory. So what happened? With a single step it deletes world directory, Asia directory, India directory, TS directory, Hyderabad. So whatever it may be, so what contains world, so everything is deleted within single step. That is called what, forcefully to delete it without taking any confirmation. For example, cloud is the directory I want to delete, cloud2 is the directory I want to delete. Now enter. See that now cloud2, entire cloud2 is what, single step is deleted. So in the Linux the very danger command is rm-rf space directory name. So don't apply this type of commands in the environment, especially RF option. So you want to delete something, then we can use RI only. And one more command is there, rmdir is the command. But rmdir deletes only empty directories. I want to delete cloud3. Now enter. So now cloud3 successfully deleted because cloud3 is empty directory. But now rmdir I want to delete cloud only. But now what happens? See, fail to remove cloud because directory not empty. But rmdir command deletes only empty directories. But rm command deletes empty and non-empty. Okay, please remember these options. But every time we can use only RI option. So better to write every time I option while deleting file or directory. Now, how to copy files and directories. So now I want to make a new file again, cat greater than my file name is my file. So now I want to add some content, hi, and I want to add the word content of hello. To save the file, Control D. So yes, we have a file that is what, my file. So now my file is there. Yes, my file is again created. But how to copying the file means, again cp is the command, copying file. Then -i is the option. So -i means again interactive method. So what is my file name? My file is the my file. It is a source file name. Then what is my target? I want to copy my file to Java. But is there any Java file? No, because in that case what happen means, in case the target file is not exist, then it will create a new file and also copying from source to target. Now the Java target file is not exist. Then if I enter, yes, check it ls. Now Java file successfully created and also successfully copied the word content from my file to Java. But in the file is exist, then it is taking the word confirmation. Yes, do you want to override Java file because already exist? No, I don't want to override it. So that is called what? Copy. So in the syntax of cp command, my file is the source, Java is the what? Target, source file name, target file name. But instead of I, if you use F, then you know that without taking any confirmation, directly files are what? So the target file is override. Oh, the Red Hat 8 completely changed the option. In early days is the what? F means what? Forcefully to override the file. But here is what? You are working on the hash prompt. Hash prompt means what? Administrator. Administration level means F option is not working. Because of what? You lose the what? Lot of content if you run this command. That's why it is called what? Overriding option is what? Default option with what? Like for I and F. So it is very beautiful now. So now I don't want to override it. okay, but in the copy command f option is not working, but up to Red Hat 7 f is working, but in the Red Hat 8 small change, that is I and f both are same in the cp command. That is only beauty, otherwise you lose the what content. Then next important thing, how to copying the file, like I want to copying my file into my cloud directory. Actually cloud is the directory, so now I am trying to copying my file to cloud directory, my file to cloud directory. So now enter, so my file successfully copied into cloud. Then how to check it, ls space cloud, then under cloud already abc file now has been copied my file, the file name is what, my file. Okay, this is file to directory. In case you want to copying directory to directory, then only I is not enough, you must write the what, R. So you want to removing directories, you want to copying directories, you must use the what, R option. Okay, I want to copy cloud directory to world directory. So already world also is the directory, cloud is also a directory. So now I am trying to copy directory to directory. Yes, type ls space world. So now successfully copied, already AC is exist, now cloud successfully copied. But when will you write cp space -ri, sir I want to copying like my file name is java and my file name is my file and my file name is public and now my file name is anaconda-case.cfg file and now my target my file name is directory, like this. Now in that case what happened, when will you write multiple resources, so the last one should be a target, so the cp treated every resource is a what, source file only, but it treated last one is a target. So videos is the target directory and remaining all are what, sources. Now what is the meaning, all files and directories trying to copy under videos directory. So videos is the what, directory, but target should be a directory, because not possible to copying multiple resources into one file. So that's why the target should be directory, then enter. So now all are copied to directory, then type ls videos and then enter. See, all are successfully copied, 1 2 3 4 resources, 1 2 3 4 resources. And while working Linux commands, one very important point, commands are case sensitive. Commands are what, case sensitive, please remember this point. For example, sir my command name is date, already date is successful command, but if I type capital DATA, then what happened, so date command not found, because here date is the what, caps letter, D is a caps. So almost 100% commands and files and everything is what, OS is case sensitive. Yes, simple point. So if I write capital D, then write capital D only, if I write capital V, then write the what, capital V only. Okay, so this is called what, copying files and directories. Then and next one is MV, it's moving and renaming files and directories. So you want to removing or renaming files and directories, then we can use the what, MV. Okay, for example in the ls MV I want to rename the what, my file with PHP. So actually no PHP file, but existing file name is my file, new file name is PHP, then enter ls, that my file is what, PHP now. Okay, even you want to rename the directories, MV my directory name is cloud and existing new directory name is AWS for example, then enter. Now cloud replaced with what, AWS. But I want to cut and paste it, so now one file name is PHP, then target is the what, AWS. So here both are exist. So when the source is file and target is a directory, it is called what, cut and paste. When the both files are source file name is file, the target file name is new, it is a rename. The source file name is directory, the target name also directory, new directory, it is a rename. But when the both files are exist, so the source file is file or directory, but target is a directory name, then it is called what? Cut and paste. So now it is a cut and paste. File name is PHP, directory name is AWS. Now if I enter ls AWS, so now PHP is renamed, moved. So now is there any file of name with PHP? No. So that is called what? MV command. So MV is the command simply to moving and renaming files and directories. One minute. Next, what is the meta character? How to apply the word meta characters? So generally Linux offers two beautiful meta characters, so important meta characters. One is star and another one is question mark. So like asterisk and question mark. But how to use this asterisk and question marks? I will tell you now. For example, I want to list files ls. Yes, it listing only files. But sir, I want to list what are the files starts with j. Then it is called what? J star. It listing files only starts with the Java. Okay, I want to list the files ending with G. Then is there any file? Yes, anaconda-case.cfg and initial -setup.case.cfg. So the very important points in the real environment, how to find, for example, sir, I want to find ls star.cfg. What are the files extension with the dot configuration? Then it lists out configuration. Sir, what are the files extension with the .py? Then it lists out the what? Only Python related files. So but right now not exist the word files. So you want to filter the word files with help of the asterisks, then like this. Okay, in case you want to remove only a star files, then with help of the what? -i. Then what happens? See, now remove regular file anaconda-case.cfg. So now what? Any cases like based on base command. ls means listing only. Now I did write here rm, then it is removing only. I don't want to remove. Now the next important thing, sir, I want to take a backup. Copying -ri. What are the configuration files .cfg? So I want to take all configuration files into my world directory. Then enter. See that all cfg files are copied to world. Check it ls space world directory. Then enter. Yes, .cfg files are successfully copied. So based on the what? Your major command, the action will do. The action will do based on your major command. So cp copying. What do you want to copy? What do you want? Like I want extension of .cfg files into world. Okay sir, I have lot of thousands of files in my location, but what are the files extension of .php? Everything is copied to, like it is called one directory, that is maybe it is a AWS. Then what happened? The .php files are successfully copied to what? AWS. The extension of PHP files are copied to what? AWS. This is the what? Asterisk use case. But in the future sessions, in the Linux administration lectures, I will give you more and more examples, because this is the basic example. Okay, and now the one more important thing, question mark. Actually, what is the question mark? It matches any single character in the given file. It matches any single character in the given file. But basically asterisk means it matches any single character, sorry, it matches all files and all directories. Star means what? Actually all. But question mark means matching any single character. Matching any single character. Like for example, ls 1, 2, 3, 4. So one character means one question mark. So now it listing files which are 4 character files. So what are the 4 character files? Only Java. Okay, I want to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters like this. What happened? The first 5 characters whatever it may be, but 6th character should be E. But one question mark, one character. But no, not files are not matching. But now I am writing some files. I will make it the what, one more new file, ABC file, and it is called what, my file, like this. So now my file is exist. If I run the command, so here see that yes, here overall 2, 4, 6 character file. But now I specified 5 characters are question marks, but E should be last character. So first 5 characters whatever it may be, but 6th character should be E. So the question mark is what? Each character is one question mark is what? One character. One question mark, one character. So you want to remove only 3 character files, then you can use 3 question marks. But is there any 3 character files? Yes, ABC is there. I don't want to read. AWS directory is there. No, I don't want to delete it. So 3 characters are what? ABC and AWS. Okay, I want to copying all 3 character files into my directory name is downloads. My directory name is downloads. Here downloads directory, but only copied 3 character files into downloads. Enter. Now type ls space downloads. Then what happens? The 2 files are successfully copied. Next, file compression and archiving. It is useful to store a group of files in one file for easy backup, for transfer to another directory or for transfer to another computer. So what I am saying here, you want to copying files from one computer to another computer or one directory to another directory. The best idea is to combine multiple files into single file for easy backup. It is also useful to compress large files. Compressed files take up less disk space and download faster via the internet. So if you compress any large file, what is the advantage? It is occupied less disk space and also download faster via the internet. So that's why almost movies and songs in the internet, the files and folders available in the zip format only. And it is important to understand between archive file and compressed file. So what is the difference between archive file and compressed file? Here compressed file, it is a collection of files and directories that are stored in one file and stored in a way that uses less disk space. So compressed file means, for example, I have raw files with 1 GB. So if you combine multiple files into one file, then it is occupied less disk space. Means compressed file means what? Occupied less disk space. But archive file is also like a compressed file, but it is used to combine multiple files into single file. But the archive file is not compressed file, not compressed, because it uses the what? Same amount of disk space. So if I create archive file, my raw data size is 1 GB. Then if I create compressed file, it is occupied less disk space. But if I create archive file, so it uses the same amount of disk space. So 1 GB file, 1 GB only. So that is the difference. So compressed means reducing sizes, but archive file means so same amount of disk space. It uses the same amount. Then notice an archive file is not compressed, but a compressed file can be an archive file. Remember, an archive file is not compressed. So you have any archive file, so it is not possible to compress the file. But any compressed file, you can archive it. Then, so first I will show you how to compressing files. So Red Hat Linux provides 3 beautiful tools for compression from a shell prompt. What are the tools? bzip2, gzip and zip tools. bzip2, gzip and zip tool. But the bzip2 and gzip compression tools are recommended because it provides the most compression and it is found on most Unix like operating systems. Almost all Linux softwares are available with the extension of .bz2 and gzip only, because these two tools are good compared to zip tool. And to transfer files between Linux and other operating systems such as Microsoft Windows, use zip. So you have Windows operating system, you want to transfer the files from Linux to Windows, then we can use the zip tool. So zip is the universal tool for Windows and Linux, but these two tools are only Linux purpose. And now what are the tools in the Linux? bzip2, gzip and zip tool. But if you compress any file with bzip2, the file extension is .bz2. So gzip tool, the file extension is .gz. And zip tool, the file extension is .zip. But you want to decompress the file, the bzip tool opposite is bunzip2, gzip tool opposite gunzip, zip tool opposite unzip. Now I will show you how to compress and uncompress it. Right, so I have a file ls-l, my file name is Java. So now the Java file size is 2662. So now I am using first gzip tool. So now gzip for compressing, then what is the file name? Java. So now enter. So file successfully compressed. Then how to verify that? If I write ls-l, the file name is what? Java.gz. So by default the extension is what? .gz. So if you compress any file with gzip, so the extension is the what? .gz. But what is the size now? 1064. But original size is the what? 2662. So now after compressing, the file size is 1064. Then how to unzip the file? Again back to gunzip is the command. Then file name is what? Java.gz extension file. Now if I enter, so now file again back to uncompress. So then verify that ls-l, then file again back to Java 2662. So this is called what? Compressing file with help of the gzip. So first you want to compress any file, use gzip is the command. Then you want to uncompress the file, gunzip is the command. So this is the what? First tool. But what is the size? 1064. Okay, now I want to compress again with Java file by using bzip2. So for example, bzip2 is the file name, my file name is Java. So actually the file size of Java is the what? ls-l, the Java file size is the what? 2662. So bzip2, this is the second tool, my file name is Java. Then enter, check it. Again ls-l, the file size is here 1084. Actually previous file is 1006, now we here 1084, but little bit compression percent is different. For example, bzip2 uses the what 50%, then gzip uses the what 55%, like. So little bit sizes are what variation, but almost concept is same. But you like bzip2, then we can use the word bzip2. So in case your file compressed more with gzip, then we can use the word gzip. But sometimes bzip2 is better, sometimes gzip is better. But it is not guarantee every time gzip is the good idea. So based on your file content, it will compress the what file sizes. So in the file content is different, sometimes bzip2 is good idea. Then how to unzip it? So unzip to, the file name is java.bzip2, then enter. Again the file size back to your java file is 2662, right? So these are the what two tools for compressing and uncompressing. And then one more tool is there for compressing, that is called what? Directly zip tool. So now what is the zip tool? Here zip space my file, zip space, like my file name is java.zip. I want to compress java.zip, then which file? Java file. But this is completely different, because first write the what? Your zip file name, then what is the source file name, then if I enter, so now adding java file default 61% successfully completed. So now the file size is here 1199. See that the differences are, the first one is java.gzip tool. Where is it? Right. So java.gzip tool 1064 is the size. 1064 is the size. And the second one is 1084, like it is called 10 bytes or something is the what variation. And the third one is 1199, so a little bit high. So the very good tool in the Linux is first gzip, and then more compress is the what? bzip2. Then it is third important tool is zip tool. So you want to unzip this, then unzip is the command, space the file name is what? java.zip. So this is the what? These are the what commands to compress and to uncompress it. So now already exists, yes, then an ls space -l. So again back to your java file is 2662. Okay, so these are the commands to compress and uncompress it. And now the very important thing, and next in the environment, archiving files. So now I will tell you how to taking backups in the real environment with help of tar file. So actually tar full form is tape archive. So what is the definition of tar? A tar file is a collection of several files or directories in one file. So you want to combine multiple files and directories into single file, then you can use the what? Tar. But this is a good way to create backups and archives in the environment. Now syntax: tar space options, archive file name, that is called what? Your target file name, then file or directory to be archived. So what files you want to combine? Source file names, target file name, options and tar file. Then options are C for create a new file, V for verbose option, F for creates a archive file name, and T shows tar file content, and R append files to the end of an archive, and Z compress the tar file with gzip. So these two are important. So Z compress the tar file with gzip, and J compress the tar file with bzip2. and X for what? Extract files. And you want to use wildcards, then you can use the what? Wildcard patterns also. But I will tell you practically, then it is clear how to use these options. Okay. So now here in the ls command, I have some files: Java file, my file, abc file, and AWS directory or something. So I want to create one backup file. Then how to create it? tar space. Generally C is the what? Mandatory. Create a what? Backup. And V is the verbose and F for files. Here V optional, C and F mandatory. Then space. What is the backup file name? Okay, for example, my backup.tar file. So because my identification, my backup is a tar file, but extension not mandatory, extension optional, but easily to identify. My backup is a tar file compressed file, tar file backup file. Then what files you want to combine? I want to combine my file, I want to combine AWS directory, I want to combine Java file, I want to combine even templates folder. Okay, so overall I want to take these 4 resources. I want to take a backup of these 4 resources. Then what is your backup name? My backup.tar. Then if I enter, see that tar is used to combine multiple files into a single file, Then if I enter, right, so now successfully backup file is created. If I run ls space -l, yes, my backup.tar file is successfully created. So that tar file name is 102, my backup.tar, the tar file size is 10240. But so the tar files is what? So the sizes are what? Same. So in case your 4 resources sizes are 1.2 size, that's why as it is, it created 1.2 sizes of your 4 files. So I told you difference is the what? tar file and archive files. So compressed files are what? It uses less disk space. Archive file is the what? It uses the what? Same amount of disk space. Your original file sizes are 1.2 GB, as it is the archive file size also 1.2 GB. That's why the same file size, but advantage is it is combined multiple files into single file. Okay, but sir, I want to combine multiple files along with compression, along with compress. Then how to compress the file sizes? So the same files I want to compress with help of tar command. So generally see that same files, but the extension is .gz because I want to use z option here. What is the meaning of z? So again combined multiple files into single file, but those files compressed with what? Z. So what I told you, z means here compress the what? Tar file with gzip. So now it uses the what? Gzip tool now. But the same files, if I enter, then check it ls space -l. Now see my backup.tar.gz, but original files are what? 10240. But after using z option, the file sizes are what? 1337, because z uses gzip tool. So that's why I specified extension is .gz. So .gz means what? Oh, this is the what? Tar file compressed with what? Gzip tool. So this is the way in the real environment taking backups. So like the original size is what? Created to what? Less disk space. 1337. Then in case the same file I want to create, if I use J option, so then the extension is bz2. So now the J means it uses bzip2 tool, bzip2, it uses bzip2 tool. Now if I enter, so now the compression is again ready. But if I run the what ls space hyphen l, so now see, if I use gz, the file size is what 1337. But bz2, if you use j option, the file size is what 1357. Small 20 blocks or something is the what variation. But your file original size is what 10240. So when will you use j option? The files are compressed with what bzip2. When the option is z, then the files are compressed with what gzip. So this is the way we are taking backups in the real environment. Either we can use j option for compress or z option for compress. In case if you not use j and z, so now the same amount of disk space is uses. Now what are the remaining options? Okay sir, just now we created ls space hyphen l, my backup, for example I want to know that my backup tar files all. So now these three files are successfully created. So that is called what my backup.tar, my backup.tar.bz2, my backup.tar.gz. In case I want to know that what contains the tar file, so then tar space hyphen tvf, then like it is called what my backup dot any one file name, you can use it my backup.tar, my bz2 or gz, any one file. So t indication is called as yes, this backup.tar file contains which files. Yes, see t option displays, okay, my file is the backup.tar file, aws directory under the what subfiles and subfolders, and java file and templates directory, that is called what t. And now you want to extract the files, so not only that tar only, even if the gz or bz2 or anything, so now same information. So t means what table of content, what contains the what tar file, how do you know that? Then we can use the what t option. Okay sir, I want to add the what new file into what tar file. So actually I forget to add the what one important file in the tar file, maybe the file name is abc, okay, in the ls abc file is there, I forget to attach the what in the tar file. Then how can you do that? Tar space rvf, r means what to add new resource, okay, in the which file, that is called what my backup.tar. Even you can use tar.bz or bz2 or something, okay. Then what is the file name? My file name is abc. Now if I enter, then abc file successfully added. But how do you know that? So now if you use t option, then yes, abc file is successfully added into existing tar file. So you want to add any new file into existing tar file, then you can use the what r option. So then how can I extract? In Windows means just right click it and extract here option is there. But in the Linux, how can you extract the what resources? Then extract means we can use the what x option. You want to extract any new file, then you want to extract the what tar files, then you can use the what x option, xvf. Then all files are successfully extracted. Okay, I want to make a new directory mkdir. Okay, my directory name is DevOps, for example. Sir, we have one important directory DevOps. So I want to extract these are all files into DevOps directory. Then you need to specify the what target. Then I want to extract all files. Then where -C I want to extract to DevOps directory. So now these tar files are extracted to my DevOps directory. So you want to specify any target directory, then we use the what C, then enter. So all files are successfully extracted because it is a new directory. Then type ls space DevOps, then files are successfully extracted. So in the option small c means what create a tar file, but here after tar file if you write C, the C determines target directory location. Right, so this is the way to making to creating tar files. So in the environment people are calling tar balls. Okay, see the what happened in the environment. For example, sir, I want to download Firefox. So how software is looking like this in Linux environment, I will show you now. So now it's open the button Firefox. So a little bit getting slow. One more time I'm trying it. Right. My internet is slow. Right. So this is the what Google page. So I want to download the what Firefox related to Linux. Then what kind of extensions of Linux softwares I will show you now. So for example, Firefox. So Firefox download. Then download Firefox browser. And now I want to download the what Firefox. Here is the option, download Firefox. Just download the browser. So now your download is what began, right? See that. So Firefox right now 86 edition, but .tar .bz2 software. See that. Any software in the Linux environment, same thing. First they are specified the what software name, version, then .tar and .bz2 or sometimes .bz2, bz2, sometimes it is .zip file. So overall the tar file size is what 70 MB. Now if I click the file name, then okay, now my software is what downloading here. Okay, my software is what downloading here, but almost the software extensions are what .bz2. Now after downloading software, go to like downloads. If you type ls, now Firefox 80.6 tar.gz is there. Then what to do? So after downloads, yes, first tar space you extract the what that extension. So now Firefox.bz2, then enter. So now all are extracted in the current location. Then find your executable file and run it and access the what web browsers. So now this is the way environment to access the to download the softwares and extract the what resources. So now Firefox browser is what extracted. Almost the internet softwares are what extensions, Linux related softwares extensions are .bz2 or gzip, only gz only. So only three kind of extensions I told you already. What are the three kind of extensions? Mostly .gz or bz2, but very rare case .gzip extensions. Right, now successfully extracted. So now Firefox folder is what extracted. But you want to remove the extensions, like same thing, like tar space bz2. bz2 means what? Here it is called what? Extension of bunzip. So that's why bunzip2, then Firefox -86.bz2. Now once I extracted, see that. So now I am removing .bz2 extension. Okay, if I type ls, now that extension .bz2 is clear. Now it is tar extension only. Then you know that tar space, how to extract it? Xvf space Firefox. So now one more time you extract it like this. So after extracted, you have a folder, go to inside the word Firefox folder, then find a executable file and run it. Then you are able to get a Firefox browser. But I will tell you how to install Firefox and how to install Git, Jenkins, and how to install FTP server, DNS server later sessions. But here please understand how to compress the files, how to uncompress the files, and how to take the backups with help of the tar command. So based on extensions, what commands are recommended? In case the command extension is .bz2, then we can use the what? bunzip2. In case the extracted file extension is .gz, then you can use the what? gunzip2. So now just you follow the what? These three commands, but mostly bzip2 and gzip extensions only in the Linux environment. Very rare case zip tools.